Hey guys, Luxker here. Welcome back to more Xenosaga Pied Piper fan recreation. Last time, we traversed through the Archon Cathedral through endless portals and tribulations. This time, we press forward. Captain, wait, I'm picking up massive macrophage activity below us. And they're unusually large. What's wrong? This isn't like you. Wait, these readings, and here as well. Sleipnir, Adhumla, Baldur, Garm, Egil, Loki? This group of macrophages seems to be the ones we already defeated. Damn it. That's so many of these massive units which show up at once. Yeah, but we've taken them down before. We can handle them again. Besides, Shara and Joaquin might be down there. Let's go! It seems like we got some important fights coming up ahead. Before going onward, make sure that everyone in your party is fully healed up. There's a shop here that you can buy healing items and equipment. So, as you can see right here, we got some new items right here. I would recommend buying at least 20 Rejuvenator M's. And make sure you have 10 Biospheres as well in your inventory. Make sure you also have 10 Cleansers in your inventory as well. And Nullifiers. With our last minute shopping out of the way, let's head on down. Sleipnir is much stronger now and has more HP on top of that. It is incredibly weak to thunder attacks as well. So once we get to it, and wow, I just missed right there. Sleipnir is also weak to thunder attacks, so this is a good opportunity to show off Thunderbolt 3. It inflicts heavy thunder-type damage on only one enemy. It is our first instance of a heavy attack that the character has learned. God. And man, Bugs really freaking has come so far in this adventure. Just knowing that even his own mentor just became such an evil person in general. Just become such a mass killer and a mass terrorist on top of that. It makes sense that Bugs would just, like, be much more emotive here, so... we have Sleipnir use another attack right there at the end of the day. Let's go ahead and have Lactus use Jackal as well. Just as many Jackals as we can here. And also, let's go ahead and show off Lightning 2 that we just learned along the way. This is basically the same thing as Thunderbolt 2, but it hits all enemies. But it's nice to show it off right here, so it did a pretty good amount of damage. Melis, I will also have you use Thunderbolt 2 right here. Well, Lightning 2 in general. And, sure, why not? Let's have Jan penetrate here a few times. Sleipnir is almost done. These battles are honestly pretty simple at the end of the day. So, honestly, you really won't really have that much trouble here. It's like Sleipnir's almost done. We can even take it out with a B-Buster. I think, maybe... Ah! So close! Alright, there we go. There we go. It's done. And we get the normal battle theme from this right now, so... Alright. So, like I said before, these fights honestly are pretty easy, so... But... I kind of also like the palette swaps of these guys right here. It's just kind of like a redder version of Aldhumla right here. Basically, Aldhumla is also the same kind of Aldhumla that we've seen before. Just really weak to thunder attacks. We definitely want to watch out for a move that it can do, though. Actually, no. On Bugs' turn, I'm going to have him use it use Thunderbolt 3. And Melis, you don't have boost right now. I think I'm gonna also do Thunderbolt 2 on Melis's turn. Yan, I'm gonna have you use offensive again. Yeah, it has like a quarter of its HP left. And Bugs evaded its attack. And it can do Satellite 3 right here. So basically they can do much more stronger moves at the end of the day. On Lactus's turn, I'm gonna just use Phoenix Strike. Okay, I didn't get a second turn there. Yeah. These fights are honestly really easy. You don't really need to do a stat buff on these fights. Just maybe do offensive and maybe Yan have Yan do like skin down. Just so he can do like have everybody do multiple hits at once here. Still no secondary attack right there. I'm gonna save my Bugs's BP right here on a later fight and just have him use Thunder. And like the previous fight, Audhumla can also do a strong attack as well that you want to guard against. So honestly, it's pretty simple at the end of the day when that happens. But yeah, there we go. Audhumla's down, and we got a lot of experience for that. And Melis learned Revolt L and Beam Bolt 3, so can't wait to show that off in the later fight. Revert L is basically a stronger like resurrection move, and that's pretty much the move that you want to have Melis learn, and not have everybody else learn Revert as well, like Yan and Lactus can. So when we go back to our skill trees, we notice that, wow, everybody's got a lot of SP from those past few fights. Like, that was just crazy. Like, did you see that? Right here, I want to have Yan learn Fist Down, and I want to have Melis learn the... Let me see. Yeah, I want to have Melis learn the EP plus 30 skill here. And with that out of the way, let's get on to our next fight, which is Baldur. This is kind of the same thing with the last fight, but it's basically much more purple, and it also has much more HP as well. So yeah, hope you liked the thumbnail, everybody. It was definitely something that I wanted to make for a little while, but yeah. I want to go ahead and take these next few sections while I'm fighting each of the bosses here to talk about the characters a little bit more for the main characters that are a part of this game, Pied Piper. And I want to go ahead and talk about Lactus now, because I feel like the rest of the characters I have a little bit more to say in general about them, but all of them are equally as great. And Lactus, I feel like there wasn't a lot of development for Lactus in this game. He had a lot of charm and personality, like at the beginning of the game, like him being the adult in the room, especially when he hit Melis at the beginning of the game. He's like a Realian, and like he really needed that development to make him a much stronger character in the end. And while I do really like the scenes with him, we really don't have him, like, emote a lot, besides a few specific scenes in general. And I even though I enjoy Lactus in this game, I feel like he's much more stronger, well, without spoiling, in other places, I'll say. Oh my god, dude, look at that damage! Holy crap! Just went back in this fight, and we got poisoned, so this battle's almost done here. Okay. You know what, let's go ahead and showcase Beam Bolt 3 right here. It's a heavy beam type attack that can do a lot of damage as well, as you can see right there. Pretty powerful stuff. Although we did have like the beam attack already there too, so... And everybody's leveling up pretty freaking quickly. As always, there's a save point right here. Yeah, I know, it's still a freaking save point. And with that, let's go ahead and teach Bugs the skin down skill. And let's go ahead and head on to our next fight, which is against Garm. Like the previous fight I've got with Garm, it resists a lot of attacks, but it's weak to beam here. So it's basically, you want to show off Beam Bolt 3 a whole ton of times, like we showed off in the previous fight. So I think, actually, you know what? Since it's not resistant to ice attacks, I'm gonna actually save up for that. So I'm gonna have him use Lactus use Jackal a few times, even though it doesn't do like a whole ton of freaking damage. So yeah, so basically this is basically spamming Beam Bolt 3 the whole time. It's basically the name of this fight right here. Both Bugs and Mellis can learn Beam Bolt 3. Yep, go ahead and just use offensive. Basically, Jan right here is just basically going to be doing this basically throughout the whole fight. I gotta stop saying basically in these videos. That's basically a thing I've been showing off here, just saying that, so... yeah, let's just do that. Really, there's not much I can say about this fight in general, so I want to talk about Bugs now. I feel like out of all the characters in Pied Piper, I feel like Bugs is definitely a really strong character in terms of, like, finding himself and just having his own, like, will to move forward with its life, because it really depended on Eric, because Eric originally was basically his caretaker. He took care of forming his armament in battles and stuff, and also did maintenance on it as well. And Bugs felt like a son to Eric in more ways than one. Like, it really depended on Eric a lot in the adventure, and like the dialogue between Bugs and Eric in right after the fight against Freya, and then on between each other, some of the best dialogue in the game. Like, I was really surprised just how deep the dialogue between them is. And taking the family ties into account, I can't help but feel for Bugs in a lot of the scenes where, like, he misses Eric, or it's wondering what's going on with Eric at that point because of this trauma that, like, was left onto Bugs, like it's sentient or something. I really got a feel for that. And the fact that Bugs also was responsible for saving us from the prison, so that was another thing too. Bugs, best robot, no doubt about it. There we go. Alright, Garm is down. We didn't get the bonus experience, unfortunately, because I, like, didn't have a lot going on, didn't have any BP in that fight, so... we are here at floor 7. Let's go ahead and teach, oh yeah! We can finally, at long last, teach Jackal 2 to Lactus. One of the best attacking moves in the game so far. Cannot wait to talk about this. Alright, let's go on to our next battle, which is against Egil. Basically a palette swap of Egil right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and demonstrate something real quick. I'm going to go ahead and use offensive first on Lactus's turn, even though I can technically use just Jackal right here. Because I want to implement a new strategy. Let me think here. Yeah, I'm just going to have everybody use Thunderbolt 3 on it. Because it's still weak to thunder attacks. So wow, that's like a very big amount of damage right here. And I'm actually going to, on Jan's turn, I'm going to actually have him use Skin Down right now. So I can go ahead and show off our new tech, which is Jackal 2. It's a heavy physical attack that can hit 2 times in a row right here. And as you can see, that did like over 1,500 damage just from that alone. So having that on you can literally just mow down bosses like it's nothing. Like, it's insane how crazy that attack can be. Oh boy, I have a lot of thoughts about Mellis. Let's get the elephant out of the room. So, Forrest in one of his blogs, when describing Mellis, he described Melis as one of the protagonists of the game, or the protagonist of Xenosaga Pied Piper. I definitely think he has a point to it all. I think Melis is a very strong character and has a lot of great character moments at the end of the day, and I feel like has a very strong character development as well. She started out as like kind of this immature tomboy at the beginning, really wanting to be like Jan Sauer, but then steadily grow to be like a person that is reliable, and she then knew the dangers that the UMM pose because of the fact that Voyager used it to kill all these kids, and seeing all these dead children and people in front of her eyes was just too much for her to bear, and she ended up kind of doubting a little bit of the UMN each and every time, eventually leading herself to look into Veritas a little bit more, even though being a part of it was illegal at the time. I feel like her character development, just being a big help with researching the UMN in general, as well as her relationship with the whole team, including Mikhail, I feel was probably one of the biggest strong points for me. Like, she was my favorite character in when I first read Pied Piper's script, and I still do think that to this day. Overall, she's just everything that this game needed. Alright, we got that taken care of, and Jan is already level 40 right here. And then Bugs learned Lightning 3 and Satellite 3. So yeah, we're getting pretty darn close to that, so to getting much more stronger in our moves here. After this fight, I'm gonna go ahead and give Melis more ether attack. And now let's go ahead and continue forward here. Against Loki, or should I say Loki 2, and man, I should say he looks pretty freaking cool right here. Cool stuff in general, and also I have this freaking music just playing in the background too. So, this is our last fight, I would say, against Loki 2. I think what right now, I'm just gonna have you enjoy the music for a little bit, because man, having this music being played here is pretty freaking sick. Also, I should mention, now it's resistant to thunder and beam attacks, so definitely keep that in mind here. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend, Jan Sauer. What can I say about Jan that everybody who hasn't read Pied Piper or even played the fan recreation has said about him? He is outright, like, probably one of the strongest developments in all the Xeno series in general. From starting out as this stoic person who learned basically everything from McCallum, who taught him basic strategy and ambition in order to carry out your duties is the only way to succeed in life. And then ended up knowing that, like, that isn't 100% true in the end, because he needed somebody to be able to have him go through life. And he found that through Sharon, because of all the dangers that Voyagers has pressed on him, with him and Eric being kind of antagonists between each other, and having a lot of similarities with each other as well. Wow in the Xenochat podcast pointed that part out, and it really resonated with me, because Jan and Eric do have a lot of similarities with each other in that regard. And the same thing can't be said with Jan and Sharon, who had a family member who died in the line of duty. They make a really great couple with each other. I just love their chemistry. And, like, it's just so heartbreaking to see all these people that meant so much to Jan just die right in front of him, and just make it so heartbreaking in the end. Like, I can't say enough how good Jan's development is in this, in Pied Piper. Like, there's a reason why in later games, when he eventually somehow, like, turned into Ziggy, we don't really know what that is yet, but we can already glean that Ziggy is the same kind of person Jan was, the same emotionless person that, like, Ziggy always was through episode 1. And at this point, we kind of know a lot more about Jan as a person, and that they're very similar with each other. And there we go. Loki 2 is finished. That should be our last fight right here, judging by what Bugs said earlier. And we get a diamond from that fight. Very cool move. We got Mecha L on from that as well. So very cool stuff. But that's not all. I lied. We have one more enemy to fight before we reach Voyager. For going back to skills, let's go ahead and give Lactus more luck, give Bugs more ether attack, and Jan more defense. With everyone much more stronger, let's go ahead and continue forward. A spatial distortion? It looks like we'll have to get past this one first. It looks that way. Let's go! Here is Alcyonius, a new type of macrophage that we have never seen before. Let's go ahead and confiscate it right here, because we get an ether core from this fight. So basically, Alcyonius is just basically there to just cast status inflictions on you and on himself to boost his defensive attacks. It can attack the whole party with physical moves, so and this is basically like the only boss that can do it as well. It is resistance to pretty much every move besides beam. So basically doing a beam moves right here is much more stronger when we do this right here. It is not worth using stat lowering moves because it's just going to get rid of it with its own stat buffing moves anyway. So just keep it consistently, just using things on yourself, and you should be fine right here. Alcyonius is actually not based on a Norse myth, actually. It's actually based off of Greek mythology. It's considered to be one of the giants as fought by Heracles back when he was on his journey fighting every single god, basically. Right there is a good example of why using stat buffing moves and stat lowering moves is just not a good idea. It's just gonna not use them all on himself right here, so this is why this fight is a little bit of a pain just to keep up with your stats. So I recommend actually when Jan has a little bit of BP to basically you just keep boosting him and having everybody get more powerful with his stat buffing moves. This fight is gonna take a little bit, as you can see right here. This fight is gonna go by pretty slowly. So just keep buffing yourself. Make sure all he does is not attack you, and just make sure he keeps lowering your stats as well. Basically, you can learn pretty much every strong ether as well. Okay, good. He didn't lower our stats that time. So let's go ahead and use... Actually... Yeah. Let's go ahead and just keep using Jackal 2 here. Lock shot. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and have him use lock shot. Like I said, it's really... This boss is going to take a little bit because it resists a whole ton of attacks. It continually casts defensive on everybody. It probably would be beneficial to have him use... have us use Fist Down, so it basically lowers its strength, so it doesn't have us do as much damage here. I guess we can just do that. And it's gonna have us use Skin Down here. Dang. Yep, so this is kind of why you want to keep up with your ether as well, just to keep everyone just keep everybody in tip-top shape. Make sure they don't get accidentally one-shot for whatever reason. I'm going to go ahead and cast Offensive again. Yeah, so our defense is a little bit low right now. Just go ahead and continue using Jackal 2. And, damn, one missed. I guess maybe using balance might be helpful in this fight because, like, because he doesn't have, like, a move that lowers agility or anything like that. Agility or, like, evasion or being able to hit everybody, so... I'm gonna go with B-Buster right here. Man, still such a really cool animation in general. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and have Yan use balance. Because he's much more of a supportive character. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll go ahead and use Jackal 2 again. Wow. Okay, wow, good crit, but man, I really should have actually hit that right there. And you're just gonna use stat lowering moves. Dang, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use Beam Bolt 3 again. It's pretty weak to beam as always. Beam Bolt 3. And it's gonna use defense. God dang it. Okay. Yeah, this is basically the whole fight right here. Just make sure you're keeping up on everything as much as possible. I think I might cut a little bit from the rest of this fight until we take it out. But yeah, this is probably one of the harder fights that you can take out, but as long as you keep buffing everybody and lowering its stats and stuff, it should not be super difficult at the end of the day. So it's gonna use Blizzard 3 right here. Okay, that's a good time for me to kind of cut until the end of the battle here, so... And no, we are not cutting at the end of the battle, because I got some stuff to talk about still. Yeah, I didn't expect this battle to be that long, so I might as well take some time to talk about the Let's Play, and, like, what were the things that, like, I remember from just going through this Let's Play in general, and knowing how much it meant to me just going through it all. I felt like scripting the Let's Play and taking all those notes was probably, like, one of the more hardest parts of it all, because it took a long time to do all that research, and I feel like it really paid off in the end, because, like, I really had a lot of fun recording these videos, like, and, like, I really enjoyed it editing as well, especially. I thought editing was going to be such a problem in the end, but I really enjoyed editing these parts, so... I don't know if I'm gonna do a Let's Play like this in the future, but if I'm down for it in some way, I would be all for it. I mean, the research definitely takes a long time, too, and I feel like I did a lot of research here. I hope you all really enjoyed what I put out for my history videos and, like, my video about the parts about Pied Piper and, like, what Voyager represents in Pied Piper as well. I just hope that you all, like, really enjoyed those things. I think the hardest part about the Let's Play for me is that, like, it was so hard, like, knowing what Cyclone Fox was going to do next. He would put out a lot of patches during, like, when each of the videos get made and stuff, and it kind of annoyed me a little bit, no offense, but, like, it would have been better if you would let me know if you made a patch, so maybe I would... like, talk about other things at the time. Like I said, no offense, but I feel like that was probably one of the strenuous parts of the Let's Play. But anyways, let's go ahead and head back into the video. Oh my gosh. Wow, bugs can't do much right now. Attack it. Okay, it did knock it out. Alright. Going back into the fight here, we defeated Alcyonius, we got a ton of experience from that fight, and we got another Ether Core from that, and everybody's leveled up again. And now, let's get our last remaining skills here. I want to go ahead and give Bugs more attack, with Yan finally learning Confiscate at the end of our adventure. And with Melis, let's teach her goodbye, get her a little bit more HP, and get her a little bit more ether attack as well. As well as learning Ice Bolt. Sure, why not? I'll learn Ice Bolt. Going back to sell our ether cores, they are worth a pretty penny. 8,000 G for it. Let me go ahead and sell the rest of these things, too. After many floors of countless enemies, I believe our last battle is just up ahead. Next time on Xenosaga Pied Piper fan recreation, we lay our hands against Voyager. Until next time, see you on the other side!